Lecture 8. In this lecture, you get acquainted with funding basic income by taxation. First of all, why does a state collect taxes? A state has different common tasks, which cost money. To finance these tasks, the state is collecting taxes, for example to pay for military, police, or courts, which guarantees our rights and properties. Also for public streets or general education. There are some states which collect taxes for public insurance and health systems, known as social market economy. But let's have a look where these taxes could be collected for such purposes or basic income. To understand taxation, it is necessary to look to the value creation where taxes occur. A value consists of costs for production. These costs can be divided in production facilities on the one hand, like manufacturing facilities, equipment, tools, charges, and additives, and on the other hand, wages and salaries. The aim of any economic venture is to produce goods or services with the purpose to make profit. In that way, the price of a value is calculated. Productive activities do not aim primarily to supply humans with an income. Payments to workers are just another means of production. But now to taxes. Taxes are cost factors within the value creation, which a company is accounting into the costs of production. Partly there are taxes on production facilities, on wages and salaries, on profit, and the VAT. Because taxes are accounted into the costs of production, a consumer finally pays the tax load if he buys goods. But even if values decay, the state earns these taxes which are accounted into the value creation, for example like taxes on income. How can these taxes be used to fund basic income? At first, there are proposals to use the income tax for funding basic income. For example, Milton Friedman suggested a negative income tax, and in Germany there are transfer limit models which extended the ideas of Friedman. The common of these proposals is that income is taxed and accounted with basic income. These proposals have the benefit that they will not influence the handling of taxes of today. But if the company will find a machine which could work cheaper and maybe better, it will replace a human worker with such a machine. The worker can be fired without bad conscience, because he would have basic income. Another proposal is to use VAT for funding basic income, because human work and therefore taxes on income will shrink. Because tax systems are mostly complex, Werner suggested to use a sole VAT, because all taxes anyhow are paid by consumers. The handling of VAT should not change. Those who are allowed for input tax education won't pay taxes at all. Independently from Mr. Werner, Matthias Dilthey proposed a model with a gross all-phase tax and called it social sales tax. On the first view, there is no difference between a sole VAT, but just that the consumption tax is divided into a social sales tax and VAT. The social sales tax must be paid always and is not a value-added tax on input. Mr. Dilthey compared this social sales tax with income taxes. Due to that it can be reached that the real production is taxed and not just human income. In this way it is unimportant if work is done by a machine or a human.